Okay, algebra, we're going on to example 2 here on our part 3 of square roots, talking about the square root function. So now it says write an expression for this function. So g of x is translated by 4 units down and 5 units to the left. So what this means here is that if we took our generic function, we're going to go 4 units down. So we're going to go down 4, and we're going to go left 5. Well, this is going to affect the h in our equation, and this is going to affect the k, right? So I won't circle the h. What I'll do is I will put what h is equal to and what k is equal to. So because h is going to the left, your h is equal to a -5, and because your k is going down, your k is equal to a -4. Notice there's no talk about your a value, so I think your a is going to stay 1. Right? Notice here there's nothing in front of there. So we're going to write down the general formula. So, and this is g of x, I'm sorry. So g of x right here. So g of x equals a square root of x minus h plus k. So now, again, like I said, the a is not going to be any different. It's going to be a 1. Your h is going to be this -5, and your k is going to be -4. So g of x equals, so we have the square root of x minus -5, and then this is plus -4. And now we're going to simplify these double sides. A minus minus is a plus, and this plus minus becomes a minus, right? So our function is g of x equals the square root of x plus 5 minus 4. And there's your equation, your function. Let's quickly graph it just real fast, right? So the starting point is going to be my h and k at -5, -4. So I'm going to go left 5, as it says, and down 4. And then I'm just going to draw a generic picture, like so. So there's my square root, right? Again, it's not to scale. It's okay. All I know is I have my starting point here at -5, -4. Because now I can talk about domain and range, right? So your x's start at -5 and go to the right. So your domain is everything from -5 included to infinity. Right? That is x greater than or equal to -5. Your range in interval notation is 4 and everything bigger. So including -4 to infinity. And again, that is y greater than or equal to -4. Okay, so there you go. Okay, last but not least, example 3 is a little word problem here. It says the formula g equals square root of w plus 3 gives the minimum reading grade level G needed to fully understand written text containing W words with 3 or more syllables in a sample of 30 sentences. If a sample of 30 sentences contains 26 words with 3 or more syllables, then what is the grade level for the next? What is your grade level? If necessary, round to the nearest whole number. So this 26 is going to be the number of words. This is our W. And we need to find what is our grade. So this is part A. So we're just going to plug it in. So G equals the square root of, we're going to put 26 in place of W plus 3, and we're going to use a calculator. And we're going to round to the nearest whole number to see what grade this means that our person reads at, right? Okay, so square root of 26 plus 3. I'll go to Desmos and do that. So now watch what I'll do. Square root of 26. Notice that that plus 3 was not inside the radical, so I'll arrow to the right, plus 3. Notice my square root is not extending, right? And there we go. I got 8.09, so I'm going to believe that that's going to round down to 8, right? 8.0 is just 8. So the grade level there is 8th grade. Okay, so then for part B, it says, okay, now, if a text must have a 7th grade reading level, then how many words with 3 or more syllables are needed in a sample of 30 sentences? So now in part B, they're giving us the grade level. They're telling us that G is equal to 7, and they want to know how many words, right? What is W? So now we are going to take our function, our formula, but now we replace G with 7, and now W is still there. So we can do a couple things. So we could actually solve this, okay? So let me show you what we could do. So I know this is not squared, but it's in a square root, so let's get this by itself by subtracting 3 from both sides, right? So that would be 4 equals the square root of w. And now, just like a square root undoes a squared will undo a square root. So if we square both sides like this, 4 squared is 16, and over here, the square and the square root cancel, and that's w. And that means you need 16 words. Now, the other way to look at this is by using a system, right? So they gave us that g equals 7. So we could take this equation and split it into two equations. We could go y equals 7, and we could do y equals, I'm going to call it the square root of x plus 3. And we could graph this in Desmos. Now let me show you what it's going to look like before we do that, and then we'll get the real point. So if we graph this, right? So this graph of y equals 7, we'll do y equals 7 first. That's going to be a horizontal line when y is 7. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is where y is 7. So we're just going to draw a horizontal line there. Okay, and then I'll do the square root in purple. So for the square root, right, this means we're going to shift up 3. So instead of being at 0, 0, we're going to be, our starting point is going to be at 0, 3. So we're going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then draw our curve. And again, somewhere out here, they're going to intersect, and we're going to find that point. So I'm going to do this in Desmos now. So we come over here. So we go y equals 7, and y equals the square root of x plus 3. Okay, so I have to zoom out a little bit, and there we go. And they're going to intersect at 16, 7. So the system, this nonlinear system, intersects at the point 16, 7, where 16 is the number of words, and 7 is the grade that they gave us, the grade level. So 16 words is our answer. Okay? So either way, you can solve it both ways and get the same answer. All right, so thanks for watching these videos. Good luck on the practice.